Now at 6, a weather impact alert. These are the temperatures. You don't want to see the wind chills, but we will show them to you coming up.
And if you're heading out the door this morning, I can confirm it is super cold out here. You want to bundle up, grab all those layers. We have got the message from health experts to keep safe in this bitter cold.
The golden age of America begins right now.
President Trump's second term begins with a series of executive orders, a closer look at his decisions and the reactions from Connecticut lawmakers.
Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, starts with a weather impact alert.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us here at 6 o'clock on this Tuesday. It's, what is it? The 21st. I think about what day it is. I'm sorry. Tuesday the 21st. I'm Symphony Privett.
I thought you were deciding whether it was cold outside or not. It
Maybe
is,
that's what's
in
got
fact,
my brain all
very chilly. I know.
discombobulated.
Listen, we have already seen 2-hour delays in Avon and Waterbury. There's a crawl on the bottom of your screen. I'm Keith McGilvery. The state's 2-hour, here I go, too. The state's severe weather protocol
yes.
is in effect very much so this morning. It runs through noon on Friday. If you or someone you know needs shelter, folks, there is help out there. Dial 211 or visit 211ct.org to find a warming center or a shelter near you.
I wasn't sure for a second there that Symphony was even committing to reading those stories. She was going to get up and walk out.
No.
Matt, so you know what? I wouldn't mind hopping back into the bed. I opened up the app when I woke up this morning and it said it felt like -3.
Yeah, that's about right. Under the cover sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Yes.
might I add a lot of coffee, a lot of cocoa, anything to deal with the bitter cold. Now through Thursday, temperatures will be remaining below freezing, and so with a little wind, we're talking 0 to 5 optimistically today. And as Symphony and Keith mentioned, 211, that's the best number of them all. There's nothing to show you on the satellite radar picture. The one bit of good news, if you can call it that, is that we are talking about very light, if any, wind out there. So this is the current temperature board. -1 in Wilmette, New Milford, -2 in Torrington, -4 in Danbury. Thankfully, many of these temperatures are staying right there, but just a little wind drops it to 8 below in New Milford, 11 below in Torrington, 2 below in Putnam, even at the shoreline. You got a donut in Groton. So it's dangerous out there, and it will remain so. So if you are spending any time outside today, may I suggest you layer up and limit that time as we go for 5 to 8 by later on this evening. School bus forecast. I don't have the conversation I had with my son yesterday. Put that jacket on, dang it. It's 1 out there now. And 21 as the kids get off the bus later on this afternoon. Clouds won't produce anything in terms of precip. Do we have any precip in the forecast? It's close. The details on a big storm to our south coming up in a little bit. 6:03. Let's go to the roads, and I get to say good morning to Rachel Piscatelli, who I know every car she will show you today
has the heater.
Has the heater on blast. That's right.
For sure. Absolutely. All right, Matt. Good morning. We are looking pretty good. I think folks are probably trying to delay getting outside early this morning and driving because it certainly is chilly. Overall, our drive and our travel speeds are just fine. A live look outside just over Route 2 this morning as you're traveling over the Founders Bridge. Volume is light traveling into and out of the city this morning. So looking at your drive times here, Windsor to the 84 interchange is 3 minutes. New Britain Ave to the Hartford Tunnel, 5, and Glastonbury to the Founders Bridge is a 6-minute drive, Route 2 west. Keith and Symphony.
All right, we have you covered on weather and traffic all morning long. The snow is done, but now we're left with this deep freeze. Governor Lamont has activated, as we mentioned, the state's severe cold weather protocol until Friday, which means warming shelters are open simply all across the state.
Yeah, and some schools are also taking precautions. Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro joins us live outside Kennedy High School in Waterbury. Angelo.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, so this school and all other Waterbury public schools are opening on a 2-hour delay because of this extreme cold. Other districts are also doing the same. We have a list of those on our website, Fox 61, but I can confirm it's for good reason. Standing out here, it is super uncomfortable. Even for just like 3 minutes, it is super, super difficult to be out here. You can probably see my breath. And to put that into even more context, I'm standing out here layered up. I've got doubles, triples, tops, bottoms, socks and shoes, and even still it is so bitterly cold. And those health experts are reminding people, when you think about covering up, think about those other pieces of skin you may not think about, like your cheeks and your nose, also your ears, in addition to, your head and your hands. Now, health experts are warning of the dangers of this extreme cold and what it can actually do, including hypothermia and also frostbite. When it comes to hypothermia, those symptoms include slow, shallow breathing, confusion and memory loss, exhaustion, slurred or mumbled speech, loss of coordination, and a slow, weak pulse. And now let's talk about frostbite. Those symptoms include red, pale skin, feeling of numbness, muscle stiffness, and also blistering in severe cases. One doctor tells us that if you experience any of those signs, you want to get help ASAP.
First, go into a warm area, remove anything that is wet, any wet clothing that you may have, and then you can gently rewarm that part of your body. It's important not to use hot water, but you can submerge it in warm water for about 30 minutes to see if that helps the symptoms. If you still have symptoms or they're severe, we recommend that you get medical attention.
And something else to keep in mind as you step outside this morning, we have this deep freeze that's happening in addition to the snow we had yesterday. So take a look around me. A lot of the roads are looking good, but you have these places where there's still this snowpack, this thin layer of snow, and also some snow that might have melted yesterday. Well, now all of that is frozen over. So as you're walking in these parking lots along these sidewalks, you want to be extra mindful and take it nice and easy. Watch your step. We are live in Waterbury this morning. I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61.
Alrighty, Angelo, do your best to stay warm out there and stay safe. We'll check back in with you later on this morning. 6:07, and we have another reminder to take it easy out on the roads. Check out these photos here. Firefighters responded to 2 separate crashes in Barkhamsted during the recent storm. One of those crashes happened on Route 44 near the animal hospital. Now, the driver in that incident wasn't hurt. At the same time, firefighters responded to a crash on Seville Dam Road where one person was hurt and taken to the hospital. President Trump took office less than 24 hours ago, and he didn't waste any time taking executive action.
He signed a series of executive orders and pardons to mark the start of his second term. Before those orders were signed, he took the oath of office around noon in the Capitol Rotunda. President Trump used the same Bible Lincoln used during his swearing-in ceremony in 1861, and also a personal Bible. Those same Bibles were also used at his first inauguration in 2017. Just after he was sworn in, the president spoke about his goal, he says, to restore respect for America.
Our sovereignty will be reclaimed. Our safety will be restored. The scales of justice will be rebalanced. The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end.
Just 20,000 of the 220,000 inauguration ticket holders were able to view the inauguration and parade from the Capital One Arena. People lined up for hours to try to get a seat.
We come here at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I'm here for the fun, you know what I mean? It's, hey, whatever happens.
We do have tickets to the event, hoping we get in.
At the arena, President Trump signed a series of executive orders, several of which reversed former President Biden's policies.
Let's take a look at some of those executive orders now. First, he restored names that honor, quote, American greatness. And this includes renaming Mount Denali in Alaska back to Mount McKinley. Now, he ordered the name of the Gulf of Mexico to change to the Gulf of America. Trump also ordered a hiring freeze of federal employees in the executive branch. And there's also a freeze on regulatory rules and measures before they can be reviewed. A return to in-person work policy has also been implemented. There's also an order to reevaluate and realign United States foreign aid. Now, Connecticut's lawmakers have shared their thoughts on President Trump's executive orders.
Fox 61's Emma Wolfhorst has their message.
Both Senators Murphy and Blumenthal and Attorney General Tong felt the orders Trump discussed, immigration, gender, renaming the Gulf of Mexico, are a distraction. They tell me this inauguration was, quote, the billionaire takeover of government and potentially the destruction of democracy.
The golden age of America begins right now.
An inauguration speech, which many described as more of a State of the Union.
We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer.
Now president for the second time, Donald Trump took office Monday, laying out the plan he promised throughout his campaign.
I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense.
What President Trump calls common sense, Connecticut's elected leaders call chaos.
I was really hoping for a unifying message. Instead, it was replete with grievances and grandiosity, playing to cultural and political divisions.
This is a classic demagogue whose entire political identity is based around making us scared of things.
The 45th and now 47th president kickstarted his second term with a flurry of executive orders. Connecticut Attorney General William Tong says his team is working around the clock, ready to respond.
We're not just preparing, we're mobilizing now, real time. We're going to stay on offense on all these issues.
President Trump did lay out top executive order priorities in his inaugural address Monday, like immigration.
I will declare a national emergency at our southern border.
Connecticut senators, though, say many of these orders will require support from Congress, which, with such tight margins, also means bipartisan backing.
He needs additional authority. A number of them, he needs additional resources. Both of those levers are clearly within the hands of Congress.
I have heard from a lot of families and a lot of people, and they're scared, and they're right to be scared. And if the whole point of this, in part, is to stoke fear, they are succeeding. When appropriate and when my voice will help, I will speak, and I will speak loudly and forcefully to try to help people that are impacted.
And all three told me they're monitoring what executive orders President Trump will sign in the coming days and feel prepared to block any they say will negatively impact the people of Connecticut. In the studio, Emma Wolfhorst, Fox 61.